Welcome back to another film session on the Boomer Bust channel. I'm your host, Terry, and today going to do Deshaun Watson. We're going to look at some of his touchdowns and interceptions. Before I get started, we are, not in the off season. We still got the Super Bowl, but we pretty much in the off season. And so this is a time I like to go through and watch film. I don't really have any particular agenda. So if you got something that you want to see, let me know. And I'll go through it. You know, I'm watch different players. Sometimes I watch different teams, situations, whatever. But let me know if it's something specific you want to see. So on that list was Deshaun Watson. Before it was a big topic of conversation, he was on that list. I feel like he's a very good quarterback. I've seen him, live a few times, and then of course seen him last few years. I don't think he's elite like everybody was saying and has been saying, especially with the trade talk. So he was on my list already this year to take a look at and kind of see what's going on. So what I'm going to do is look at the first half of the season, the first 8 weeks. I'm going to look at touchdowns and interceptions. This is just one lens. There's a lot of different ways to look at this. So this is just the one that I end up deciding to do. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, NFL has been tweaking. And so we will see how much we'll get through because this is round 2. And I can't tell you when it's going to be together. So it's hit or miss. So we're going to give it a try and we'll get as far as we can get with it. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get this started. So we got 22 clips. Again, touchdowns, interceptions. First 8 weeks. So Green Bay Packers, this is the third quarter. So 21-0. Texans are down around the 9-minute mark. So you got a 2x2 with the tight end there. Looks like they send pressure. I mean, I've seen these clips multiple times, but they were in the base front. And so obviously Deshaun gets to escape out a little bit and then just makes a throw to the back pylon. Now, this is what we have, this is when we have off schedule play. And this is what a lot of people talk about, that ability to make an off scheduled or second play when the initial play breaks down, being mobile. All that talk is a little overhyped to me, but this is one of the things they talk about, being able to create that. Now, going to the end zone, I'm going to tell you right away, Rashard Gary, again, they're in the base front. So they bring 5, and he just does a bad job. Doesn't really get a hand on the tight end, and then you'll see him fold inside. You got to, maintain your rush lane, keep that contained. He crashes in. That gives Deshaun Watson all that room to run. Everybody's pointing back. Now, I don't know whose job it was, but everybody gets concerned with Deshaun Watson, and he's able to throw that touchdown. It's a good throw. I mean, it's a good velocity, good move by him. And that's what you got to do, is take advantage of the mistakes. And so the defense made a mistake there. And a lot of times, especially with second plays and off-schedule plays, that is all about discipline on the defense. So you got another 2x2. And I didn't go through the play design of the first one, but I didn't like it that much. Didn't really give it much options. And I didn't like this either. I think this has to be a mistake. You got 2 people curled right in the same area. I think that was supposed to be some type of sticks concept where you had one guy curl, one guy went to the flat, and so maybe he was supposed to wheel around or do something. Either way, they ended up in the same space, so that wasn't great. And we'll see it from the end zone view. And on the backside, there's not much happening there. I don't know if those were supposed to be clear routes or what, but they didn't really seem like they were running. And again, this is kind of garbage time. There's less than 2 minutes left, and they're really down in this game. But you'll see from the end zone view, it's all velocity on the throw. Not great pattern, not a great job by the defense, but It was all velocity on the throw. I think he was looking at Fuller. I don't think Fales was supposed to be there, but Fales curled, and that brought more defenders to the area, and so he just really put a lot of velocity on the throw to get the ball there quickly. So this is 4th and 1 against the Titans. They're down 14-0 in the second quarter. Again, for the third time within the white zone. You got a 2x2 here. And what you'll get is, not sure what type of concept they call that. Maybe some type of red zone deal. But it starts out kind of like a slant concept. Typical slant, flat, and then slant here. But instead of staying inside, he pivoted and went out. I don't know if I don't know. It looked like it was designed that way. So either way, this is man coverage. And this safety gets outflanked and is not able to get there. And again, a lot of times with defenses, I don't understand it. I've seen colleges and high schools be able to run stuff better. But it's communication, because this should be inside out or something. Even if it's man coverage. Like, if you got him, because this guy doesn't even rush. He doesn't rush. He's not covering anybody. So I don't understand what he's doing. So it's man to man, but if he's not rushing, you should have an outside call. He goes outside, you take him, and then I'll do whatever you were doing, which I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a spy. I doubt it. But yeah, you watch it. He doesn't even rush. He's just out there in the middle of space. Just that's the wasted defender, and he gets in the way of Bird or Byard, and that's a touchdown. Now, it went past it already, but one thing I was going to show, which will be a theme throughout here that some people won't want to hear, call it nitpicking, but it comes up a lot, is the ball placement, the accuracy. Even though that receiver was open, heading to the sideline, the pass was behind him. Now, the velocity was good enough and the leverage was good enough that it didn't matter, but in a normal circumstance, when it's not that open, that really will mess you up if you're putting the ball behind and not in front. So that ball placement comes back into play later. So let me back up just to say where we are. So 21-17, still in the third quarter. Obviously, we're in the white zone. So this is the go up on the Titans. Now you have that little drag here. And then you got two out breaking routes. I mean, they break up, but there's nowhere to go. And then I'm not sure what the tight end was running. I don't know if this was, I doubt it was a mesh, but the tight end runs towards the back. So not a lot of options. And then, of course, you bring the running back out of the backfield. So, again, Deshaun's moving in the pocket, wanting to run, not really finding the thing or any lane to go. And then this becomes an off-schedule play. And then he makes a throw, a tough throw, a very low percentage throw, but something to try to get him out of that situation because everything's initially locked up. So we can look at it from the end zone view. And they only rush 3. They're in coverage, which is just interesting. So again, you see he wants to run, wants to take off, doesn't find the lane. Linebackers do a pretty decent job making sure that he has to throw. And a pretty good arm throw. I mean, that's tough. Obviously, that's not the way you draw it up. But that's a good job by the receiver coming back and just at least giving them a chance. All right, so down 29-23. This is the fourth quarter, around the 9-minute mark. I don't know why a lot of this is around the 9-minute mark, but play action here. You have a 3-man route, then the running back comes out of the backfield. Then Deshaun just takes a bomb. I believe that's Fuller. Yeah. So going back and kind of looking at what happened there. Obviously busted coverage, but off the play action, I mean, the 3 deep safeties are deep. But then you get this guy, I don't know what he's covering. I really don't. I can't see the number if that's Butler or not, but he's a deep third player, and he's letting somebody run free down the deep third. So play action, hesitates a little bit, but it continues on the back pedal. I mean, just loses sight. And so, I mean, wide open. Now, we will go to the end zone copy. See how that looks from this side. So again, play action here. Pocket's pretty clean. Surveys the field. Eventually sees it's open. Puts it downfield. Now the ball's a little late, but still obviously the right answer, and gets it there. But again, those are the things you want to notice. Good play, not great play. And again, in those situations, you made it. That's all gravy, but those are the things that really haunt you when it's crunch time. So this is Texans up by 1, less than 2 minutes. It's 4th and 1. So instead of kicking the field goal, they go for it. And I can't get this out of slow motion, which means this is probably about to tweak out, but we shall see. All right, so another 2x2 set with the tight end. Running back in motion. They bring pressure off the edge. And this is tough. It's a heads up play. It's a tough play. They make it. But again, it's tough. And then I'm assuming this is week. Actually, this is reversed. This might be week 7, week 6. But we know the Titans weren't great that year. I'm not sure why they was dancing. Oh, man. I don't want to leave out of this because then I probably won't be able to get back in. But what you're going to see here, Deshaun Watson is going to get the ball off. It's going to be a little tough, but he gets the ball off. Oh, okay. Speed is working again. Sorry. All right. So, what you'll see again, you're going to have this drag come, and really it's the same route we saw earlier, or combo at least. And it just throws off in midair, back foot, and the ball severely behind, but the receiver makes a good play. And again, a good heads up play by Deshaun. Could have cost you, but it was fine. So let's see. We are Texans 3, Jags 7, second quarter, 5 minutes. So right in the middle of the game, out of an empty set, I forgot to see what down it was. This is a touchdown here. So what happens on this touchdown is you got bad cover 3. This is bad communication. So we got single high, cover 3, cover 1, some type of form of that, maybe a robber. Either way, second safety's down. Now, whether these guys are in man or deep thirds, you got the middle of the field and you got 2 in the slant, or not the slant, the flat curl. Now, what you'll see, these 2 middles, they have the mic, or the mics have the middle. They don't pass this off, and so he runs free, and you'll see it better in the end zone copy. But the 2 linebackers don't pass it off correctly. You got 2 people covering the same guy, because this linebacker 53 is going to jump in this short route. And you got to understand cover 3 and what's coming. If nothing's flat, he's got that. So he jumps here when he should have been carrying this, passed off from that linebacker. And they don't communicate that. And Fells is off to the races. So good heads up play. They send 4. Good heads up play by Deshaun. Reading through his progression. And they just don't see it. And again, ball way behind. The receiver has to turn around, but nobody's there, so it's fine. But again, in tighter situations, that becomes a problem, especially being on a team with a very inaccurate or many inaccurate quarterbacks. I've seen it. That becomes a big time problem. So when receivers are open like that, it's all good, but there's other times where it becomes an issue. So Texans are up 10-7, 34 seconds left in the half. I guess they're just being aggressive, trying to get a field goal. So you got a deep dig, a deep out. Not sure what that other route was, but it ends up getting intercepted. So out of this 2x2, running back chips to help out, then gets out to a route. Out of this 2x2, everybody's playing deep. They're driving on anything underneath. So everything's pretty much covered. So this ball gets thrown, and it's labeled as an interception, so I'm guessing he caught it. But tough catch if he did. So we'll see what happens. They rush 4. Again, running back helps, chips out, goes down to protection. Deshaun gets to the top of his drop, and he stays back there, makes a really tough throw against pressure, and it's just off. And this is one of the things I realized in watching live as well. And I know the O-line isn't great. A lot of O-lines are bad. But there's no pocket manipulation, really. It's more of a just stand in the hole and pop it. Like, there's some throw on the run stuff, obviously, we've seen. But a lot of the pocket stuff, when it's time to make a pocket throw, there's no real manipulation, no step up, no maneuver. It's just kind of throw off the back leg or throw falling away. And again, the accuracy drops. Most players, like 99% of players, the accuracy drops when you do that. And we saw that happen to Deshaun on that one. So 1st and 10, we are in the third quarter. Texans 13, Jags 7. I keep forgetting to look at the down. But play action here. And this ball is intercepted, so they take a shot play. Maybe second down first, I would guess. Usually, yeah, it's first down, usually when people do that. So play action. You got a corner route here, a double corner. Almost like a double post. I don't know what people call it. They run a lot of these high-low, same-level routes. I'm not super familiar with what people call those, but we see them do that in the end zone. But anyway, that is intercepted off the play action. It's some type of 3 deep. And they do a good job on the D route. They don't do a good job here. And this is where I thought the ball was going. And the linebacker or whoever that is get there late, but they go here. And that's fine too. Both outbreaking routes was there. But we'll see from the end zone copy, what happens is the accuracy is off. It's a nice long return. So we'll see it from the end zone copy, which is really high up. I don't mind that though. I kind of like that angle. This looks like Houston's cameras, since it's at home. That's kind of nice. But anyway, so that's outbreaking. I thought that was the play. Maybe he was just being more aggressive. But in the pocket, makes the throw. Now, obviously, you see nobody was really there. He came late. But even these two, they're trailing him. This is the open space. You put this where the receiver is supposed to go. And I don't know if he scores, but if the time is right, maybe he scores, or at least you give him a chance. But either way, that's complete. Now you'll see where the ball ends up. The receiver has to turn back around because the ball's inside. That's where it's tipped, and then the defender is able to make a play. So again, you'll have some plays where people are open or it works out and people are like, you nitpicking, you hating. It's like, no, that ball placement matters. Because when you get into situations where you have to make you have to make the throw all or nothing, that's when you get caught up. So Texans are up 13-7 still. Fourth quarter. Now they're in the red zone. So play action here. Drop in deeper in the pocket. Then they lose contain, so he scrambles out a little bit. And again, this is where, Fuller gets up and makes a score, but this is where I see that again. And not to tip anybody off too much, but I really like the design of this play with the ISO, because, they just let him go. I might steal that. But anyway, let's see. I'm not sure who that is on the edge, and looks like they got heavy personnel. So I don't know who 94 is, but he completely loses his contain. Like, if that's a pin, then he needs to work outside. But either way, they all lose their contain. So that messes it up in the first place. But good movement in the pocket. Again, an arm throw. And gets a sliding Fuller, who is aware enough to get up and make that play. Now, again, you look at it. Obviously, Fuller had to go down to make that throw. Whereas he's got him beat. You make that throw in time and rhythm, he walks in the end zone. And obviously he gets up and make a touchdown, but most cases that you just missed out on a touchdown because you put the ball in the ground. And so that's something to look at. Jaguars are 14, Texans 23. So fourth quarter, Texans are still up. 2 running backs in the backfield, Max Pro. And then they run, just a 3-man route. And this is pretty good rhythm. Now, why they sold out, I don't know. You see 2 backs, up backs, clearly they max protecting. And it's 3 receivers. I'm playing coverage to that. That's me. But they don't. They blitz. And so you get this one-on-one situation. He sees the matchup he likes, throws it in pretty good rhythm where it's time enough for him to run. So we'll see it from the end zone view. Again, we've seen before, you throw this ball behind him where he has to turn around, he's getting hit. But you put it in front of him with at least good enough timing, the defenders don't have enough time to make a reaction to that because you hit them in stride, especially with the receivers they got. So that was a really good throw. All right, Vikings. Let's see, Vikings. This is the third quarter. Vikings are up 17-6. Texans heading into the red zone. Play action here. Who was that? Will Fuller, wide open. They showing man off that motion. They showing some type of man. And there's a busted coverage because nobody's guarding him. Nobody's guarding him. Again, ball is behind. Obviously, that's a give me, but just something to notice. And honestly, looking at his mechanics, he is not bringing his lower body in. He's not shifting his weight or anything. So Vikings up 31, Texans 16, fourth quarter. They are right outside the red zone. Got an empty set. see, we got a drag, a curl, a crosser. I guess 2 vertical routes. I don't know. These backside routes must be clear routes. They be looking real lazy. So clearly they weren't trying to go there. The initial read was somewhere between these 3, and these look like clear routes. But again, you get the second play now. Watson climbs that pocket instead of sticking back. Climbs that pocket, makes a throw. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. That gives you the most ability, because yes, you could stand back in the back of the pocket, throw against pressure, or even avoid pressure and throw at the back of the pocket and use your arm. But if you can shift your momentum, re-engage that bottom base, hitch up and make that throw, or even if you want to create running lanes, it just gives you more opportunity. And again, velocity. You got to have velocity to make that throw, because he's standing in the back of the end zone. Yes, the corners let him go for whatever reason, but if they were to fall underneath that with a bad throw, they could have picked you off. So velocity, big time velocity. 3rd and 8 against the Steelers. This is the first quarter, down 3-0, right outside the red zone. Let's see, we got a 2x2 set. Tight end chip, somebody gets a late release. We got a dig. We got a deeper dig, outbreaking dig. I don't even know what you call that. Honestly, I've never really had to name that route. Outbreaking, a deep out. I guess that's just what you call it, a deep out. But anyway, well, he bends that back like a corner. I take it back, because he starts inside, breaks it out. So that's really a corner route. And again, good ball placement. Good ball placement allows them to run. That's the type of throws you want to see. So let's see it from the end zone view. Looked pretty in rhythm to me. So they send 5. Running back helps out. I mean, he throws it off like jumping. And we've seen that didn't work out before, but that was good accuracy on that one. Now, again, you don't want that typically, but that's a way to make a play off schedule. I mean, it's still in time, but that's not how you want it to look. So that's a good job by Watson getting that accuracy on that. So 28 seconds left in the half. Texans are down 3. Got another 2x2 with the tight end. Steelers rush 4. And we got just a regular old fade ball. I'm not sure what 22 did, but that's a good job by Fuller. Good job by Watson putting it up there. I'm not sure why 22 has his head around and just stops. I guess he misjudged it or something. But, I mean, I don't get too mad about this with quarterbacks. Like, you put it in the vicinity, give your receiver a chance on a jump ball. Obviously, the corner made a bad play on it and Fuller made a good play on it. But as a quarterback, that's all you can ask them to do. Fourth quarter, Texans are down, or up 1, excuse me. This is back when they had Bud Dupree and everything. So again, 2x2 with the tight end set. They do a mesh here. And again, they got this deep crosser and then that deep out, or like a corner route. I wasn't watching, which is interesting. I kind of like the levels of that. So he throws back cross body and gets picked off. Now, situationally, obviously, what is this? 13 minutes. You got a lot of football left. You're up 1. You want to protect the ball at this point. And we'll get to the end zone copy. But I mean, the mesh stuff is there. What down is this? That's the question I have. This is 3rd and 15. Okay, that context helps. Because the low mesh stuff is there all day. That's why I'm like, this had to be deep. Obviously, that's not what you're looking for. So the low mesh goes. The divider goes. I mean, you really do have this dig. And then the corner's already done. So you're scrambling out and just trying to make a last-second play. I guess that was supposed to go to the deep receiver who works his way back. I mean, but obviously that timing and accuracy is all off. So let's get to the end zone copy. I am curious to what that looks like. What I can say is anytime you cut the field in half, you take away your options. Not only the options you can see, but it's harder to get the ball to some of these spaces. And so that deep dig does come open late, but it's going to be real hard to throw it when you're scrambling from here. So instead of standing in the pocket, he starts moving the pocket and wants to make a play. We see Josh Allen do this a lot, and we saw this really bite him in the butt in the playoffs, where he was not really able to do that as much. And I do think he was going to Fuller, and it sailed on him. I don't think he was throwing down here. I think he was throwing to Fuller, and he just lost accuracy trying to throw on the run. That's what I think happened. All right, what we got next? We've been surviving. We're going to do a couple more. We've been surviving. 10-0 against the Ravens. Second quarter, 9:50. That 9. 2nd and 10 in the white zone. Ravens, another really good defense. Play action there. And let's see. Yeah, pretty much play action slide. You bring this guy out the backfield, then you have somebody on the next level there. I mean, tight end just uncovered well. I have to see the end zone copy. Obviously, put it in a space where you could catch it, but that's the thing with tight ends, man. I keep telling people, like Kittle and Kelsey are different, but you do not have to do a whole lot to be a really good, effective tight end. Naturally, they just have a mismatch. So he uncovers a little bit there. Watson puts the ball. Now that's a good spot. That's a good spot. I still think he might have called it if it was short, but you give your defender a chance if you put it behind him or anything like we saw earlier. That's a good spot. All right, let's see what this last play is. Ravens are up 13-7. It is the middle of the second quarter. Oh, I didn't know what happened. I guess they got intercepted. Did he score? Oh, that sucks. All right, so let's see. We got empty set. It is 1st and 10. 5 minutes, 26 seconds left. So going empty on first down. It looks short. Everything was short. Yeah, we just got really hitch here. Yeah, this is a combo the Bears ran a lot, and a lot of teams run. I don't know if the ball popped up and it got intercepted or what, but that does not look like that was Watson's fault. Watson just stood there. I'm not going to say nothing, but they got on Cam for not diving on that fumble and stuff. I'm just saying. All right, let's see what happened. They got blitz. Obviously, they moved him off the spot. He didn't have a choice there. Through. It was completed. This looks like a fumble. I'm not sure why that's labeled as an interception. Okay, let's move to one more play. That was not an interception. That was not Deshaun Watson's fault. 20-7. 1st and 10. Almost towards 2 minutes in the half. So trying to get some points before the half. Play action. This is intercept. Now this one's intercepted. Let's see. We got the play action. We got the tight end. We got 3 people in the backfield. So 2-man route. I don't know what that was. A high mesh? Either way, it's covered pretty well. So let's go to the end zone copy and see what happens. Not sure why that was why'd he throw it there. I would have to guess it got tipped. Can't watch everything at once. Alright, so we got a play action. As we already talked about. This high mesh is happening. Looking to throw. Oh, okay. It didn't look like that from the other angle. He just got robbed. He didn't see Peters, and we know Peters is an opportunist. Let's go back. Okay, so this must be man, because Peters was in motion with the receiver. And part of this is the receiver a little bit. Like, he just doesn't do anything. He doesn't even give Peters a reason to stay there. And so Peters robs coverage. And that's a tough one. All right, let's stop there. That's enough. I don't want to press my luck. I'm surprised we got this far. Actually, we had one more play left now that I'm looking at it. And it was another interception from week 1. But anyway, whoa, we've been going a long time. Okay, so... yeah, that's just a good play by the defense. So, looking at that again, I didn't see all of this, but most of these plays. And so I've kind of already had time to think about it, but I've watched film against the Bears that week. I've seen that live and then watched film, seen film from Watson last year, and there's good stuff. Obviously, there's really good stuff. And I said this before in my other episode when I was talking about Watson, which some people took an issue with. But obviously, if you're talking about putting him in a situation with a lot of talent or other talent and like limiting what he has to do, he's going to be, he's going to elevate that team. That team's going to elevate him, much like a lot of quarterbacks. Not a lot, but, some of the better quarterbacks. But if you're talking about just straight carrying a team off your skill set alone, I don't think he's there. I think, obviously, again, he has mobility. He definitely has the guts. I think his IQ has grown as well. That's something you always look for. For quarterbacks over the first 3 years. So you want to see that IQ grow. And I don't think he's locking on one target. I don't think he's, doing any of that college stuff. And I don't even really feel like he did that a lot in Clemson. But one thing I do think he might get trapped into sometimes is the extending the play part. And there's times to do that, and there's time to stay in the pocket. And I've said about Mahomes, Rodgers does this excellently. Obviously, Tom always stays in the pocket. But Rodgers does this. He's excellent at it. And Mahomes is surprisingly excellent at it too. They know when to extend the play, and they know when to stick in the pocket and make the tough throw. And I think that's where Watson has to grow. I also think that's what Josh Allen showed that he had to grow in the playoffs. But all the other stuff is there. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely on the same exact caliber, I think, as Josh Allen. And so there's some accuracy issues, as we saw still. But, yeah, I mean, the package is there. It's what I think. And, again, our label's going to be different. My good is not the same as your good. So some people might hear me say he's not elite or this, and they say, oh, are you crazy? But my bar is different. And so, but, that's why we go to the film. And so we'll look at the second half as well, the season. at some point we'll do that. And yeah, we'll just continue to break down film. But again, if there's anything you want me to do, let me know. So share it around, get the conversation started. And thank you for listening.